Welcome back to another Spilldrop tutorial. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter video. I'm going to be going out of town in just a couple of days, so I wanted to get another video out before I left, just so that way you know that I haven't completely abandoned y'all. And hopefully when I'm back, there should be a pretty fun vlog video. A little bit of IRL Spilldrop content. If there is a vlog, then I'll go ahead and toss it into the cards right here. So you'll see it up in the corner, and that'll be obviously after it gets published, so it might not be here right away, so you might have to check back for it. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to build this circuit, which is a day-night switch. This will allow these lights and this heater to turn on and off depending on the time of day. That is dictated by the position of the sun in the sky. So if the sun is in the sky, like it is here, the circuit will be turned off. The components that you will need to complete this build include a solar panel, wire tool, at least one light or a couple of lights in this case, an optional space heater down below, a not optional small battery, a blocker component, an electrical branch, and an additional branch here if you want the optional space heater on this circuit. I'm located in Canada, so that's why I've got this extra space heater included into the circuit. Keeps me a little bit warm here on the Art of Rust server. With all of those items attached to a single circuit, you have a cool light that does this. You'll see here on the screen what it's doing. Super cool. So right as the sun comes up, the light turns off. When the sun goes down, the light turns on. Awesome. All around, a very cool circuit, very useful, especially for saving energy. Let's get into the build here. As we said, you need a solar panel. The placement of the panel is significant really in that it has to face the sun. Now that's a pretty logical conclusion to draw about the placement of this panel, but the placement will vary depending on the server that you're on and where you've built your base. So our panel is facing the south because the sun is generally in the southern half of the sky during the day. The sun will rise in the east, set in the west, so we're pretty much parallel to that line. That means we'll get a little bit of sunlight in the very, very early morning and a little bit of sunlight right before twilight. And then the whole time in between, we'll be getting more or less a full charge from the sun, charging up that battery. As you can see here, a maximum of 19 rust watts per minute are coming in now, as opposed to at midday when we were getting the full 20. That doesn't really matter though, because all of that power is flowing in to this branch right here through this yellow wire. This branch has two nodes, the branch out and the power out. The power out, which is the yellow wire, continues on from the solar panel and then carries the majority of the remaining current to the power in on the small battery. The remaining power comes out of the branch out node here and flows through this red wire down into the block pass-through node on the blocker. This component acts as a gate. If there is power coming in through this node, then nothing goes through the blocker to the rest of the circuit. As long as the solar panel is getting at least 1 rust watt per minute from the sun, then the gate will be closed. No power goes through to the lights, no power goes through to the heater. If less than 1 rust watt per minute is flowing into that circuit, then the blocker will no longer be triggered. That gate will be opened and all of the power from that battery will be available to the circuit. If we look into the configuration for the branch, this first branch has just 1 rust watt per minute coming off in the branch node. That's what's running over to the blocker. It can only use 1 rust watt per minute to activate the blocker. Anything else that goes in there just doesn't get used, so there's no reason to run any more power to that blocker than you need. 1 does the trick there just fine. And then for the heater, we've got 3 rust watts per minute coming off of this branch node up here, and obviously it's not getting any power right now because the block pass-through node on the blocker is triggered. We've got the red light and the green light there, meaning that this gate is closed and stopping any power from moving up into this branch up here. When the sun sets, this branch will no longer be getting power. The blocker will no longer be activated, opening the gate and allowing for the power to flow from this small battery, from the output node, through the power in on the blocker, through the power out at the other side of the blocker, and into this branch here. If you have any questions about how this comes together, feel free to leave those questions down below in the comments section. If you enjoyed what you saw, I would appreciate it if you liked the video. It lets YouTube know that this is content that a Rust player might be interested in, and that really helps my channel get discovered, and it helps me work with other Rust creators, which is kind of the dream. So if you could like the video, it means so much to me. If you want to share it with somebody that you think could benefit from this circuit, please feel free to share the video. If you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to the Spilldrop channel. I make a lot of tutorials, exploit videos, and other kinds of adventures. So if that's something that you're looking for, consider subscribing and you will be notified when I put out new content on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your friend Spilldrop, and I will catch you in the next video.